So, how to think like a thinker? That is the topic of our video. So, let's start with some thing like most of us are not a thinker at all. Why I'm saying that how to think like a thinker? Why I'm telling you to you. Because most of the time in our life we are not a thinker at all. We are a thought taker. Like a lot of time we are a thought taker. How, like, most of us are not a thinker at all, we are the thought taker. That's why our life and its experience feels like it is taken from someone. Okay, that's why I am encouraging you to be a thinker, so your life will be different. Your life will be the output of your thoughts, not of someone. Okay, so thinking is an automatic thing. Obviously thinking is automatic mental activity. It happens by default. It's mostly conditioned and repetitive. You don't choose most of them, they just arise in your mind, right? And scientifically we also don't know where our thoughts comes, or from where it is made, or like how it create. We don't know about it, but we know that every like a sum of connection in our mind, in our brain, in our limbic system, it creates something chemical, or some chemical that is creating a thought. So but scientifically there is no proven theory or anything like that that is showing us that okay, this nerves or this neurons carry a thought or anything like that. But now let's see how just thinking impacts our life, because that is the main question of our video, like how we are thinking every day. But we don't see this thing that okay, we are thinking something, but how it is impacting our life every day. So let's see. First, you live reactively. Like, thought leads to an emotion leads to an reaction, and a reaction leads to a consequences, right? So your life becomes mood driven. Like, they ignored my message, like someone say they don't respect me, like anything like that. So we get very mood driven. If something happened, then it creates an emotion, a thought for us, and that thought create a emotion for us and reaction, and then consequences will gonna lead it. Okay, so that is the thing. Second thing, you just stuck in repetitive loops from like same thoughts creating the same emotions creating the same life patterns in your life, right? So this is how it impact our life. Third, your identity becomes thought based, and I think this is recently this is the thing that is happening with everyone. We are like our identity become thought based. Like you say I am anxious, instead of you have to say that I am experiencing anxious thought, but you say that I am anxious, I am full of anxiety, I am an anxious person, like that. A lot of persons say things like this in social media. So that is one of them. Fourth is your decision making ability get poor. It based on dopamine hits or immediate comfort. Whatever you see in social media, you get a dopamine hit from them, and you make your life decision based on it. Your decision making ability get poor, right? You make decision on some dopamine hits that you get from a reel or from some influencer or anything like that. Most of the people are doing this thing recently. So that is the one of them. It is how your thinking is impacting your life, in everything you thought, in everything you react on, in every thought in your mind, impacting your life in this way that I tell you right now. Now let's see how being a thinker changes a life. If you are being a thinker, then how it changes your life. Let's see that. Okay, let's see it from great thinkers like Naval Ravikant, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Dan Coy, and Da Vinci, etc. So they all have their own thinking structure. If you see Elon Musk, if you see Naval Ravikant, if you see Jeff Bezos, they all use the framework like first principle thinking. If you know about it, they already use it in all of their work. And this is like, if I give an example of it, as is this is a good career because society values it. We choose our careers because society values it, not what we think about it, not from our own intuition that I really want to take this career. So this is how we think from the first principle thinking. So what skills create leverage, and things like that. What do I enjoy, what compounds over decades. This is all the question that is come from the first principle thinking. Okay, so that is the first thing, that how the great thinkers have a method, have a structure, and they use all of them, and they use a structure like them. So that is the one thing. Second thing, you could try meta thinking. To be a great thinker, you could try meta thinking. Thinker watch their thinking, create gap between stimulus and response. Instead of why is this happening to me, ask what story in my mind creating right now. What story in my mind I am creating right now. Like, think from that angle. That is how meta thinking is used. Okay, so that is our second thing. Third thing is seek clarity over intelligence. If you can't explain something simply, means you don't understand it at all. So that is how that is how a thinker thinks. It seek clarity first, then everything happen. And that is what I already tell you in my other video, where I talk about clarity and how clarity leads to something good in your life, right? So yeah, that is the one of the thing that thinkers should have. Fourth thing, feed your mind high quality inputs. And that is the thing that I always tell you, to consume the thing that is of high quality, that is not consumed by many people. Consume that, follow thinkers. I always tell you this thing, because like, when you practice all this, your decisions become intentional instead of reacting. So being a thinker and just using this 2 to 3 or 4 things that I tell you right now, you become a thinker, and you use it in your own thing. Like, your decisions become intentional, right? You, instead of reacting, you pause on things, you evaluate thing, you choose thing that is long term. Your prediction becomes good. We have a prediction loop inside our mind that is predicting everything for our result, for our things, for our work. It already predicting everything for us. And but being a thinker, your prediction become good. You get original ideas become visible in your system. Your original ideas become visible in your own system, because you are now very observer. You become an observer in your own mind. You seeing the things, like how you think, how you apply this thought, and how you get result out of your thoughts, like all of this thing, right? So that is the thing. Like, people like Da Vinci, Naval, Jeff Bezos, they think by writing, or they hold multiple perspectives, they can think emotionally, logically, strategically, or from others viewpoint. And that is the thing that I learned from Dan Koi video, that we should think about like that. If you are a philosopher, means you are observing someone, you will gonna see clarity, or you will get have an insight as a philosopher, that okay, he is saying something like that, and you will only have a philosopher perspective. But the people like Da Vinci, Ravikant, and Jeff Bezos, they think in layers. They think in multiple perspectives. They can think emotionally, logically, strategically, or from others' viewpoint. And from others' viewpoint is a very, very important thing. Your ego. We always say that our ego. If you put your shoes in someone else's, you will gonna know, you will gonna understand how he feels. Or if you create any product, or if you are creating something, or you want to know your users, if you want to know your audience, then you have to have others viewpoint. You have to have a skill of empathy, right? So that is how a thinker think. That is why the people like Da Vinci, Jeff Bezos, they have a very different perspective from all of us. Why? Because they think differently. That is the thing. That is why I'm telling you to be a thinker. Think like a thinker. Because if you are not a thinker, you are a thought taker, and if you are a thought taker, your life will gonna be like someone else's. You will not gonna have a life of your own. So be a thinker, so your life will be a consciously created reality for your own self, that is coming from your own system, that is coming from your own thoughts, right? Also, you can use many mental models to apply this thing in your own life, like inversion, like how do I build a great YouTube channel. So like how do I build a, instead ask this: what destroy channels? Inconsistency, bad audio, no niche, etc. So if I have this question, means I will gonna think like that from an inversion mental model. And second is like map versus territory mental model. Example: no one liked my post. If I say this thing, but if I think from this mental model, I will say I am bad at content. Reality is my reality is like algorithm, timing, audience mismatch. But I am saying that I am bad at content. I am just applying this into my own identity. But that is not the problem. The main problem is the algorithm, timing, or audience mismatch, right? So that is how you apply map versus territory mental model in your own thing. Okay. Third thing is circle of control. Separate what you control and what you influence or what you can't control. And that is a strong mental model that I use in my own thing, that whenever I get sad on something, or whenever I overthink on something, I say this to my own self and I apply this mental model that Diksha, what you control and what you influence or what you can't control. Just write this three thing and you will gonna have a solution of that overthinking. It is the thing, that is how you think like a thinker, to apply the mental models. That is awesome for your work, awesome for your things. Yes. And why I'm saying you to be a thinker, why I'm saying that do this, do that thing, because one thought or one choices can change your life 360-degree, right? And if your current route of thought coming from a dopamine based or emotionally unbalanced, means it is controlling your life. Whatever we make choices in our life is look like that. If you see the series Dark, in that series of Netflix series of Dark, there are many people, they are making choices, but without understanding it, but without understanding what is the root of the thing, of the action that they are taking on. So that is how a thinker think on things, on their own things. And that is what I really want for you, to be a thinker. So your life, you can predict the life, you can have the reality you want in your life, so you can create things in your life that you want to create. That is why I'm telling you to be a thinker, not a thought taker, right? So that is all for this video. Please tell me on the comments what in what topic you want next video on. Tell me please. And yeah.